Now, last Monday, in our very first episode of On the Money, we posed the question, is inflation back? Well, now it seems we have our answer. Because figures out this morning show the Consumer Price Index measure of inflation, the CPI, rose to 3.2% in August, the highest inflation rate we've seen since March 2012, and the sharpest month-on-month acceleration in inflation since the late 1990s. July's CPI inflation number was 2%, but August's CPI inflation number soared to 3.2%. That's a really sharp increase. Back in July, factory input prices, what factories need to make things, steel, wood, all the rest of it, they rose 10% compared to the same month the year before. And that supply chain inflation was maintained in August, with input price inflation rising even further to 11% compared to August 2020. Now, inflation doves, those who think that price rises won't persist, say that much of this August inflation rise was because increased restaurant and cafe prices last month are being compared to the same month in 2020. And that was when, of course, we had all those discounts under the government's Eat Out to Help Out scheme. Remember that? And there is something in that argument. Having said that, the cost of living clearly is rising. Food prices rose 1.1% in August alone, the highest monthly increase in food prices since 2008. Higher transport costs are also driving inflation. Petrol prices averaged 134.6 pence per litre in August, their highest since September 2013. Now, the danger with inflation, as we so often say here on The Money, is that once it gets going, with companies paying more for their inputs, the things they need to make and provide the goods and services they sell to us, those firms then start jacking up consumer prices, the prices we face in anticipation, so they don't lose out. And once inflation gets into the supply chain in that way, rises in the cost of living for all of us then become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And if wages don't keep up, it's workers and households that lose out. Plus, inflation often spooks firms and their shareholders, making them reluctant to invest, so jobs and growth also suffer. Now, I would say an upward consumer price spiral driven by rising inflation expectations is now a clear and present danger. And that's what we're discussing. You're on The Money question today. Inflation is back, so what can we do?